For 44 years, the International Christian Embassy Jerusalem has drawn thousands of evangelical Christians from dozens of nations to Israel for its celebration of Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles. This year's event, however, takes place amid a rise in violence against Christians and Christian sites throughout the country.
There has been a surge in attempts to humiliate Christians and even attacks on Christian property. Some of the traditional Christians and clerics in the old city. They also spilled over to protests against evangelical Christians and messianics here. But I don't think these incidents are going to really have an impact on the generational shift that we've seen in the Christian world from, several generations ago, still a contempt for the Jewish people, replacement theology. Over the last 40, 50 years, there's been a huge transformation, a real sea change in Christianity, and these people are going to stand with Israel and continue to stand, express their love for them like they're going to do today, and a few little incidents like this aren't going to deter us.
Earlier this week, a video showing ultra-Orthodox Jews spitting at Christian tourists went viral and drew widespread condemnation from all echelons of Israeli leadership. A small protest by anti-missionary groups also took place outside the ICEJ conference.
I think there's a bit of a different dynamic, that there's a lot of Orthodox Jews in Mea Shearim and in the Jewish Quarter, and they're passing by each area in the narrow streets of the old city with a lot of Christian tour groups, a lot of local Muslims, and there's just tensions that come up and flare up. But we've been some of the protests against the evangelicals who are friends of Israel have been here on the western side of the city, and I think it's different people, different elements.
I understand them because maybe they come from a history of pogroms, of anti-Semitism, and Christianity, unfortunately, is a synonym to them with anti-Semitism, and we just want to change that somehow, but in a way I understand, so I'm not offended in any way.
No, I don't see it impacting at all. Actually, we have one of the biggest groups ever here in Finland, and the people want to be blessing this nation.
The largest Christian solidarity event in Israel was marred this week by protests against the event by ultra-Orthodox and ultra-nationalist Jews. However, as you can see, the Christians marched anyway in support of Israel and were not deterred.
What they are seeing is a warm welcome from the vast majority of Israelis here who understand there has been this change in the Christian world, and we see it here at the march every year. The Christians in the march have become the biggest draw every year in their national costumes and their flags, showing solidarity with Israel, that it draws hundreds of thousands of Israelis out to see this march. I talk to older Israelis who say, when I was young, I would come to this march, and it gave them a different perception or view of Christians in general. They're able to distinguish those who may not still like them and those who actually love them, have a compelling love and concern for them.
They were greeted along the parade route by thousands of Israelis who came out to show their support and gratefulness to them.
We are not concerned about missionary activity. We're fully confident in our education. We are a religious people. We are liberal, and we believe in our Torah and our own path. Jerusalem belongs to everyone, and people come from a variety of religions, people, opinions, and nationalities, but it doesn't shake our faith.
This is Nicole Johnsizyan in Jerusalem at the March of Nations, reporting for the Media Line.